Hello? You there? Hello. Got Mark's Spot, Delco Steve. Wednesday evening. So many things have happened since we last, well, at least I spoke here on Wednesday night with Delco Steve. What is up? Sixers, if you're watching this live, Sixers get started in LA in about an hour. I'll be up for at least the first half of that. Paul George playing tonight. Joel Embiid suspended 3 games for shoving Marcus Hayes. Oh, God. Really, really annoying topics that I've been in the crosshairs of the public is what I would say about that. Delco Steve, how are you, buddy? We probably need like a 5-hour show tonight, but I can't do it. Yeah. What's up, everybody? Let's see what everybody's saying. Michael Richmond. A lot of people. Yes, I was late tonight. The child. God. It's usually the one. It's the one child, and it was the child again tonight. Been a rough couple of days. It ain't easy being greasy. Delco Steve, the Flyers stink. Even though that it was an entertaining game last night. Delco Steve, how are you, buddy? What is going on?
There we go.
Hi.
Oh, as I mute myself.
Now you're muted. I remember when so Marcus Hayes. So and I like Marcus a lot. Regardless of what happened in this particular instance where he was obviously totally out of line, even though the context of what he was writing, he wasn't ripping his brother, but he brought up his deceased brother and his son. It doesn't matter what you write. People are going to see that and it's over. So he was trying to make a point. Marcus is like a really smart guy. When you read him, it's like, oh yeah, he's a hell of a lot more intelligent than I am. Sometimes it gets him in trouble. And he was trying to be like this really smart column, and like you wrote about the dude's dead brother and his son, and you tried to spin it into some kind of comparison. You're done with that. But does Marcus still do stuff at WIP?
Not to
Vince?
my knowledge.
OG Wade's on the line tonight. OG, what's up, my good brother? He keeps going up there. Chuck and Spike, are they done with each other? I saw an OG Wade tweet today to the guys. He was asking about something maybe with Bryce Huff, but I have no idea what's going on with the Whack Pack on the afternoon show. I retired from that. All right, so Marcus isn't doing anything on WIP. They hired him to do like fill-ins and weekends and stuff, and it was before a Phillies game, and Rod was like, hey, you want to work with Marcus? And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. It was like 90 minutes. And, the 90 minutes didn't necessarily go by quick. I'll say that. But yeah, Chuck called in, and Chuck literally started arguing with him immediately and told him he wanted to fight him. And it was pretty entertaining. But yeah, so he snapped at him. But like for the most part, I like Marcus. I don't blame Joel Embiid for being pissed, although he had the whole pity party. I'm just so sick of the whole thing. So sick of the whole thing. Steve, what did you think about the Embiid Marcus Hayes thing? We'll just move on from topic to topic.
It kind of reminded me of the Adams situation with when he was in Seattle, the safety, Jamal Adams.
Yeah.
Actually,
I forgot about that.
It was going back and forth with the New York reporter, and he was taking shots at his wife, the reporter's wife. It was like revert. It was like opposite
for being ugly.
Yeah.
And
I just I don't know, like this, like these guys should never. It's just the relation, like the relationship of these two businesses. It's like you can't go personal. It's if the play on the field on the court is one thing, that's fine. But if he's not doing something off the court, that's I don't know.
Marcus has a bug up his ass for Embiid.
Right. And it's like, and he took it.
So does Angelo. Just like I have Angelo come on my show tomorrow to talk about it. And I taped it today because he takes his grandkids to school when I'm on the air. And like, that was Angelo when he was a reporter. That was Angelo when he was on the radio. He ripped everybody. Marcus did the same thing. And he's done it plenty of times before. But the minute you bring up a dead brother and a son, it's like the context and the point.
It goes out the window.
It's gone. It's gone. It's over. It's done. It's over. Because 99.9999999% of the people out there didn't read it. Didn't read it after they took that part out. Didn't read before they took that part out. They don't have any idea of the context or the point he was trying to make, and it doesn't matter.
And it absolutely doesn't matter.
Not at all. And that's on Marcus. That's not on anybody else. That's on Marcus. He shouldn't have wrote it. But when I go and I look at, like, even just peeking at my mentions, and I'm not even kind of staying away from writing stuff on Twitter about it. But people like, so Embiid gets suspended 3 games. Marcus Hayes gets no suspension because I'm told he gets the most clicks of anybody at the Inquirer as far as the sports writers, and he's an editor. So he gives this to the editor. The editor can say, no, let's take that out. He didn't. So you're going to blame anybody, blame the friggin' editor who allowed it to go in there. Marcus Hayes, and he does this a lot, and I don't remember what it was that he said. I think it was something with Jalen Hurts, but he'll put an inflammatory couple of sentences in there that is the zinger. That's the boom. That's the line that's going to piss people off.
Get everybody riled up. Get everyone to read the article.
Right. So, and that's what he did with Joel Embiid. That's what that line was. He's apologized for it. I don't believe he should lose his job. I don't believe he should lose his press credential. I think that Nick Nurse talked about it about an hour ago. He said that he thinks both parties could have handled the situation better. And by the way,
which is fair.
Yes, it is fair. It is fair.
It's 100% fair.
And the Sixers should have never allowed Marcus Hayes to walk into a locker room where Joel Embiid was waiting for him in front of everybody. The 76ers, I don't know what the hell's going on down there. From talking to people and digging a little bit, it seems like pretty much everybody is scared of Joel Embiid, and they let him pretty much dictate everything that's going on down there from the, like, they weren't talking about the injury because Embiid didn't want them talking about the injury. So Embiid is
Marcus is lucky he didn't end up in a dark room somewhere then, and Embiid just walks in after.
Well, what right. No, but what you do is you say to Marcus, listen, Joel's here. He's pissed. I don't want you going in the locker room. I here's what I want to do. Let's 10 minutes after the game's over, let's meet in here so we can have a private conversation. Because guess what? You talk to any reporter, they'll tell you this isn't uncommon for players to be pissed off for something. Now it's a lot of times it's tweets. The columnist will tweet something like that thing in Dallas where what's his name? Diggs was all pissed off because the TV reporter said, what is he doing on this play? By the way, the TV reporter's stupid and he was wrong because it wasn't a fair tweet. But anyway, so like this kind of stuff happens. You can't lead them into a locker room where Embiid's going to go up and confront them. That's bad on the 76ers. That's really, really bad on the 76ers. That puts Joel in a bad spot, and that's put Marcus Hayes in a really, really bad spot. It's a mess. The 76ers, Steve, this has gone from a circus to a clown show to a donkey show down at the Wells Fargo Center and in Camden at the 76ers facility. This organization looked like a bunch of jackasses right now. Everybody, Joel Embiid included. So I am sick of this crap. I just want to see him play, by the way.
6 more days. 6 more days.
Well, there you go.
So you got to listen to it for the rest of the week or for the next week. Then he'll play, and then the Marcus Hayes story, because that'll be obviously a main part of his first game. I'm going to guess it's probably a national televised game since it's the Knicks and
and by the way, I know it's one of these stupid in-season tournament that only Elliot Short Parks cares about, but he really doesn't.
I care about them.
Does. Oh, you do too? You and Elliot?
I only care because it's so much better for betting basketball because they actually try on those games. They actually try on those games.
No, they don't.
Some of the school they don't stop scoring. That's the thing. Like they don't. If a team's up, they keep playing their guys.
In this game, take the Sixers. Joel Embiid's return on the home court. He's gonna want to show up and ball out. I love the Sixers in this game. That's actually a great game for him to come back to.
Oh, 100%.
And just so like Embiid got suspended 3 games. A lot of people are saying, well, that's fucked up. He gets suspended. Marcus Hayes doesn't get anything. Joel Embiid wasn't ready to play tonight. So the 76ers,
he wasn't playing any of those games anyway.
So you see what the 76ers did? They leaked to a national reporter that Embiid is like ready to play against the Clippers. And then 2 hours later, his suspension's announced. Oh, so now we can start the suspension because he was ready to go tonight. So the NBA realizes the situation. They realize, like, hey, Joel shouldn't have done it, but it's not like he wasn't. He was verbally provoked. You can understand him being pissed off. So let's start the suspension tonight. And, because they have to set a precedent. They can't have him shoving a reporter, making contact with a reporter, and do nothing about it. So.
And then he's back for their game that they care about.
Right. So they got to win a couple games between now and then. It's a short line tonight. 1.5 Clippers at home, 1.5 favorites.
PG revenge game
today. Yeah, the Sixers looked pretty good against Phoenix the other night. They fell apart at the end. They had a 9-point lead with 5 minutes to go.
Oh,
Paul George looked terrible.
When I saw the box score, I was like, "Oh, cool, they're up." And then like half hour later, I'm like,
"They blew it.
They lost.
They blew it." Yeah, they did. They went too reliant on George, and they didn't get it to Maxey enough or whatever. But I think this is a win tonight for the 76ers. So there's that story. All right, I really haven't battled people about that because it's like I know where people are coming from. But some of the replies that I read on social media, I don't really want to mention it. There was one thread that I was looking at. There was like 10 separate Twitter accounts that were probably most like, burner accounts, or you don't know who the person is, that were saying that they're going to get even for Embiid on Marcus Hayes. Like, where does he live and all this other stuff. And it's like, everybody,
why do you care?
Just calm down. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. All right. So then you have the Jason Kelce stuff. And
you kind of blew up.
So I put out what I thought was a pretty innocuous tweet that was saying, hey, your profile is much bigger than it ever was as a player. Like, think about it. Jason Kelce wins a Super Bowl. He goes to the parade in the Mummers outfit. And at that point, nationally, I remember hearing a lot of people like laughing at him or saying like, whatever. All of a sudden, people had an opinion on Jason Kelce. And he's a really good player too, but he's a center, right? But you see his personality. And then from there, as he got more of a personality, as people realized the type of personality he was, but then when he was Travis's brother and obviously the Taylor Swift thing, he became a huge star. And then you have the podcast, and then you have more Taylor Swift, and then you have him ripping his shirt off at the Chiefs game, and then now he's working ESPN.
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. He's a huge star that football fans obviously know who he is. Non-football fans know who he is. He's now a mainstream star. He's much bigger than he ever was. If you remember back in May, Mayfair Karen wanted a picture, and he's got that souped up truck that everybody knows it's his truck. So they're sitting in their truck in Sea Isle or wherever they were, and Mayfair Karen's banging on the door because she wants a picture with him, and they're like, no, and she starts freaking out. So it's like, all right, would that have happened in 2018? Probably not. She wanted a picture so she could show, like, oh, look, it's Jason Kelce. So it's not like he could walk around Sea Isle still, maybe, but like things have changed. He just can't walk around the Penn State parking lot with a 12-pack of beer and
like he's one of the dudes.
People are going to mess with you. And that's what happened. And I saw his apology that he did on his, excuse me, not the apology, but what he said today on his podcast. And he was emotional about it. You could tell he was upset about it. You could tell he was disappointed in how he handled it because it did. I mean, not that it, 95% of the people out there, Steven, you can tell me how you feel about it in a second. I know I'm rambling, but 95% of the people supported him. I wasn't even criticizing him. I thought I was stating the obvious, which was, yo, bro, you need security. You can't be walking around parking lots with a 12-pack. You need 3 guys with you to where when an idiot like that steps up, he's walked away real quick and you keep walking. It's not worth it. He's making $50 million a year. He's a target now. And I put out this innocuous tweet 5 million impressions later, and every friggin' website is quoting me saying that I'm criticizing Jason Kelce, which I wasn't criticizing him. I just said, you can't do that. You can't spike the phone like that. It looked bad. And forget about the fact that he was repeating the F word back, the derogatory for homosexual F word back. He skated on that. No one even brought that up, and I don't care. That's fine. He's repeating it, but still, it's like he put himself in a really bad situation in the way that he dealt with it. So, and Steve, I can't believe how many people are DMing me from all over the world, are like locally calling me a traitor, and you have no idea what you're talking about. Like, excuse me. All I'm saying is he can't handle himself like that, and I think that's fairly obvious. But go ahead and tell me what you thought about the whole thing.
I mean, I feel like we've all been in that situation where it's like we want to do that and we can't because like we wouldn't get away with that. So I feel like that's like my only like thought process on it. It's like I would love to turn around and spike someone's phone that's pissing me off or that I dislike or whatever. But it's like,
a human reaction. It's a human reaction that we've all wanted to do, or maybe some of us have done, right?
Right. It's like we're going to actually have to deal with the ramifications of it, where I feel like, okay, he says, I'm sorry. People are going to feel bad, yada, 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 yada. And that's the end of it. He probably pays for the guy's phone, and that's about it.
Or you know what? I don't even think he should pay for his phone. F that.
I don't think he should pay for it. I'm just saying, like, that'll probably just be the end. That'll probably be what happens, though.
Well, if I'm that dude, the last thing I want, I don't know if they figured out who he is. The last thing he wants is his name getting out there. Because guess what? I had somebody not long ago like messaging me saying like, hey, I'll do stuff for you for free. I'll do this. I'll do that. I'm like, all right, send me your resume. And I Googled him. He had a friggin' arrest for like some kind of a fight in a bar where he assaulted a guy. Like literally this dude that's like, hey, I want to do this. Yeah. I'll make promos for you, all this other stuff. This is like 2.5 years ago. This dude flattened some guy in a bar. Guess who I don't need help from? That fucking guy. So this kid's name gets out for yelling the F word and bum rushing Jason Kelce. But anyway, idiot. And I hope his name does get out. But anyway, yeah, I was blown away with how many people were mad at me for saying that he can't act like that. He can't. I mean, and the guy deserved it. I'm not saying the guy didn't deserve it. F him.
Can he act like that? No. Am I glad that he did? Yes.
Yeah, it was fine. I was kind of like looking out for him, being like, Jason, man, here's what I'm worried about. And this is true. I don't know Jason Kelce much more than the average person. I've done a couple things with him. He listened to me on the radio. He is as good of a guy and as genuine as a guy for an athlete as they come. A really, really nice guy. Cares about stuff, cares about social issues, cares about fans, cares about people. Legit. Love Jason Kelce. I in the moment, I'm worried he's walking around with a 12-pack. At Eagles games, he's shotgunning beers on top of Winnebago's. He's starting to get a little bit out of control. No, I mean, all right, I don't need Jason Kelce shotgunning beers. Listen, bro, I'm 47 years old. Jason's 11 years younger than me, all right? Is that really what he wants to be? Is this out-of-control maniac drinking, walking parking lots with 12 packs of beer? I don't think that's what he wants to be. And I just don't want it to get worse. I think he's fine right now. It's a persona and a personality that he's taken on. It's fine. He can't be doing this all the time. I guess that was my point. Like, dude, you got to chill out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I get the idea of like wanting to be like just a normal like person and be like one of the dudes, like especially like, oh, in the stratosphere that he is, he's like, oh, I'm still just who I am. I'm still this normal guy. But like you said, all the attention's now drawn on you. So you do have to kind of act I guess
exchange,
like,
man.
Act accordingly, but you also still like gotta try and be yourself as well. So I get what you're saying, but like there's definitely a fine line that he's now towing to live that life.
Yeah, and he'll figure it out. He's a smart dude. This was definitely a reminder of how fast things can fall off and he's not going to get criticized. He's not getting disciplined. He didn't get in any trouble. I love the way he handled it, right? Like he did everything as I expected him to do. I just hope he's all right. I hope everything's all right.
I hope he enjoyed that 12-pack.
Of garage beer is beer. What's the other thing? It's product placement. So he's walking around the parking lot with the freaking 12-pack. But I mean, the day of the parade, I saw him at the they had us up in that one area of the link where all the players were and the coaches were and their families were, and we were waiting to load on the bus to go on the parade. And he legitimately had a full case of beer, and I probably saw him have 10 beers in an hour, easy.
I was gonna say, was he actually even there anymore?
He is pretty unbelievable. All right, so there's that. They're the two like big stories. What was the other big story? Well, I mean, Saquon Barkley. Not even the game. Saquon Barkley. Isn't it nice to have the guy where you're like, I can't believe I've never seen something like that before?
Yep. Dude, that whole play is just insane to me. Like, it's like you're watching it and you could see him set up for it to happen, which was the best part of watching it like live in the first time through. It's just like, oh my God, he's gonna do it. Oh, and he did it.
And you watch it live and you're like, what did he just do? And then they show the replays. First of all, the spin move wasn't a traditional spin move.
Oh,
he set it up differently.
It was like a Euro step spin move.
What the hell? What? I've never seen that. Normally the spin moves are like you're doing Madden. That wasn't a Madden spin move. That was it was a Euro spin move. That's a good way to put it. And then he does fucking backwards.
I'm actually surprised I don't know this already. Who was the guy he jumped over, and why don't we know his name?
Who did he posterize? Poor guy. Yeah. Did you see? So the reactions are the best. They have the sideline reaction from the Eagles.
Oh yeah.
And then you have I haven't seen this mentioned a lot, but I saw one angle where they have the defense and the Jaguar players, like they all kind of looked at each other like, what the fuck? What was that? Like they didn't believe what they just saw. Oh my God, what a talent. So does this finally put to bed? And I'm really like, I don't even want to say this because then like I'm worried that like, oh, then he gets injured. Now everybody's like, hey. That's why you don't sign him. But if you remember, a lot of the national media was saying, "Oh, you don't pay that much for a running back."
People were saying it this week.
Saquon. I know you're overpaid for Saquon Barkley. You don't value a running back that much. And what we said, Delco Steve.
Oh my God, it was Ronald Darby.
It was Ron. That's right. It was Ron Darby. And he got beat on that Devontae Smith touchdown too.
Yes,
Ron
he did.
Darby that had good coverage too. How about that catch from Devontae?
Dude.
How does he get a seat in?
The Dotson catch.
The Dotson catch was unbelievable. Yeah, 3 unbelievable plays. And on that Devontae catch, real time, it's like, well, there's no way he was able to get both feet down, catching the ball one-handed. He had no real estate to work with. First of all, to catch it one-handed, and then to get both feet down, and he did it easy.
Well, the crazy thing is, if that's not a turf field, his left foot looks like it levitated. But if you don't see those pellets shoot up,
yeah, you don't know he did it. You're right.
Yeah, if that's a grass field, there's no way they're calling that a touchdown.
No, you're right. That's true. Wow, what a catch. Yeah, like
that was amazing.
And then the game almost ended in complete tragedy. If they would have lost that game, Sirianni doesn't get fired, but people probably go down there like January 6th after Trump lost the election. They insurrect the Novacare Cup.
Dude, that was a combo. That end of that game was a combo of the Saints Falcons games from week 2 and week 3. It was literally the same. It was at the worst parts of both of those games smashed together, and they somehow win.
Yeah, I was kicking my feet up. I was like, third straight game where I'll be watching Red Zone in the fourth quarter. I won't have to worry about this. And then the Saquon Fugazi fumble.
Dude.
He clearly was touched. Whether or not it actually made him go down, there was contact. And when there's contact, 99 times out of, I'll say 999 times out of 1,000, he's down by contact because of that. For whatever reason this time. Tiki Barber was like, I'm shocked during the broadcast. It was a great
they had Gene Steratore, whatever that his name is, like about to come on and be like, yeah, it's coming back. And they're like, oh, nope, confirmed.
It was unbelievable. It was like a lot of big, so that kind of started the downhill.
And I won't be the first person to say it. If he got up and ran for a touchdown, they would have called him down by contact.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, 100%.
Because all the defensive players would have stood there like, oh, he's down. and nothing would have happened.
Right.
And then he would have been running, and it would have been.
And then it was no down by contact.
No, look at he got touched here.
Yep, you're right. You're right. So Delco Steve, the Eagles are 6-2. Nick Sirianni went 0 for 5 on 4th downs and 2-point conversions. And if you take, I hate the 2-point conversions. I hate when there's a penalty on the defense and that, now they're from the 1. Now we're going to go for the 2-point conversion. Pick the freaking extra point.
My thing is, I don't mind that thought process if it happens. But like when you're trying to manufacture it from the other team, like that's where I don't get it. Like when they're doing it before half, it's like, oh, we have a timeout. Let's get them to jump. I'm like,
so then we can go for 2.
Right. Yeah. If you're telling me that 1 yard actually matters that much to you, like that's a problem to me.
So
like, you're telling me the only play that you can get you a yard or 2 yards is the tush push. And that's the only reason you're doing it.
So shouldn't the analytic change now because they missed 3 of them? Shouldn't that change? And the whole reason the analytics is that it's a better chance of you getting it than not getting it, so you go with it. Well, you just missed 3 of them. Shouldn't that change the freaking analytic?
You would think.
I don't listen. Here's the thing: the problem is they missed the first 2-point conversion. Now they're chasing it for the rest of the game. Here's what I believe. I believe in 2-point conversions. If it's 16-0. And you want to make it 16-8 in the first half of games, I don't care about 2-point conversions. I'm not trying to make the score like, oh, well, we missed an extra point, so now we got to make up for it. Kick the freaking extra point, right? If that means you have 13, if it's 14-6, I'm kicking the extra point to make it 14-13. I don't need this. I don't need a 2-point conversion to tie the game up in the first half. I just don't. I don't think it's worth it.
Right, because you're gonna have to score eventually again anyway. Like if they score a touchdown and you were down 8 later, you're still down. You still have your opportunity to go.
If you missed it, the odds are you're going to want that point back later on in the game. That's how I always look at it. I know that, but I guess my point is, Sirianni didn't really do anything. Dan Orlovsky called him reckless on ESPN. He didn't do anything reckless. He went for they have a chart. He's just like they give him. This isn't his idea to do. You know what I mean? This is an organizational thing. This is what he's supposed to do. Doug Peterson in 2017, Doug didn't decide he was going to be aggressive and go for it on 4th down. The Eagles analytics department was ahead of the rest of the NFL. They said, hey, you should be going for it on 4th down. And they were right. And it's changed the entire league. So, like, I don't think Nick Sirianni was reckless. I don't think he had a good feel for the game because I don't know that you go for 2 points or you don't just take the field goal in that game just based on how the game was going. I don't think he had a good feel for the game. I don't know what happened late, how you almost lost that game. I don't think he was reckless, but I don't know how you almost lose that game, Delco Steve.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like 16-0, you just like there's no need to go for 2 there. If you do what you're supposed to do the rest of the game, that extra point doesn't matter. Like honestly, if you shank it, it doesn't matter. But to willingly take it off the board, act like they kicked the extra point, got another penalty, whatever. It's just that doesn't make sense to me. It's just,
I'm out.
But like you said, if it's 16-0, and I mean, the Jags did that though. They got the 16-8, right? So it's just like now you went for it there. You just put yourself into a one possession game. So I'm all for making things a 3 possession. Like if it's 16-17 and you're making it a 3 possession game, you take the 1 point. If you were at 15 there, okay, and you wanted to go for a 2-point conversion to make it a 3 possession game, then that's one thing. But you just took a 3 possession game off the board with an unnecessary aggressive move.
Yeah. Well, I hate it, especially when it doesn't work, as does everybody else. And I didn't like going for it on 4th down. Like they go for it on 4th down. I hated the play call.
Yeah, but that was a 4th and 4, right? It was a short
4th and inches.
It was 4th and inches on that one.
I'm gonna have to pull up because or was it 4th and 4? Because they didn't go for the push, right?
There was one before that was inches, and they did the tush push and got
it. And they didn't get it. So it was 4th and 4 that they went instead of kicking the field goal. Is that what it was?
I think so.
Well, I know this. didn't like the play call. It seemed like they thought that the play action was going to work, and it didn't, and there was nobody that was open. We do go through the play-by-play real fast here.
That's what I'm trying to do. The same thing.
Downs. It was 4th and 1. Yeah, it's 4th and 1 from the 25, and he went play action, and it was incomplete. So that was the second one. It was 4th and 1, Jacksonville 25. That's where it's 22-16, and that puts you up 9. And instead, they went for it.
Right. So being up 6, like I don't like you're
being up
you're
9
still
is a 2-possession game. Being up 6 is
even if you scored a touchdown there, though, it's still a 2-possession game.
Correct.
Like so, dude, I don't know. Like in my head, it's just simple math. It's just you do it.
The first downs were it was at the 4th and 3, incomplete. So it was a 4th and 3. So that's the one you were thinking about. That's the first one, where it's incomplete to AJ Brown. The second one, where he just didn't have an open receiver, and I think he was rolling to his right, trying to just threw it up. Or maybe that was the AJ Brown one, where he just kind of threw it up, and it was incomplete. Anyway. So listen, they have the Cowboys coming up on Sunday. Dak Prescott. I don't know if you saw this, Delco Steve. Dak Prescott, and Vince just brought it up right here. People are saying he's going to be on IR. That means he misses 4 games. He's missing more than 4 games. This is a significant injury. This is probably 6 weeks. And if it's 6 weeks with where the Cowboys are right now, and they tank these games,
they're done. So
yeah, I mean they're going to be done. I mean, they already look like they're done.
Yeah, Dak even told us they fucking suck.
He sure did. It's awesome. Yeah, so he tore the hamstring off, partially tore the hamstring off the bone, according to reports. So you're not looking at 4 weeks, you're probably looking at more weeks, which means they're going to be cooked.
Didn't we lose to Cooper Rush though, like 2 years ago?
Wasn't that Ben DiNucci? Did they lose? No, they almost lost to him. That was Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz looked freaking brutal, and I was so angry the next day. They had a moral victory in there. I think they lost a close one to the Ravens, and we were happy because they actually looked good. And then they barely beat was it Cooper Rush? Am I thinking of Ben DiNucci? I don't know.
I think it is Ben. It is Ben. I'm trying to pull up
Cooper Rush's game logs.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no, this is 2024. So let's see.
I mean, he can't have a lot of starts in his career.
No. Let's see. 2022.
Well, he's only.
No, we won 26-17. I lied.
Yeah, he started 5 games,
and then he won 5 games in a row.
That's right. He won all those games
after we beat him.
Dak was struggling. That's right. Dak was struggling, and Jerry Jones, because they were running the ball, and they're running the ball well, and they were playing good defense. And I remember Jerry Jones saying that, Dak's got to realize that we're winning a certain way. In other words, he was saying like, hey, stop coming out there and throwing it 70 times a game. This formula is working for us. So who knows? Maybe they take the Eagles. Maybe the Eagles take them lightly because it's Cooper Rush and this is a trap game. 5-1 as a starter.
Well, dude, that's like one of the crazy stats there is for like betting content. It's like whenever the star player's out, you take that side because it gets
especially that first week.
Yeah, that first game. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Not going forward, but I mean,
Cooper Rush was the opposite when he started those games back then.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Would anybody be surprised if the Eagles lost on Sunday?
This should be a boat race win, but I would not be surprised if they somehow came out 24-21, something like that on the wrong side of it.
It becomes a look-ahead game because then Thursday night's Washington.
For the division.
In Philadelphia. That's a big game, brother.
Yep.
Big game.
Jaden Daniels is legit as he's going to be a problem. I might be speaking a little too soon, but he might be already the best quarterback in the division.
He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league this year.
Oh, agreed. But
he's an MVP candidate.
But it's like going forward, it's like he might.
Oh yeah, I'd rather have him than anybody.
Yeah,
sure.
It's so.
All right, what quarterback in the NFL? What quarterback in the NFL would you rather have? Pat Mahomes?
Daniels.
Pat Mahomes.
Yeah. Right now, Lamar.
Going forward, Lamar's really good this year.
5 years down the line, I'm taking Jaden.
Yeah, but right now, if you had to choose for your quarterback going forward,
for
what
this
quarterbacks
season?
would you take over? No, going forward as your quarterback.
Yeah. I'm taking. Yeah, I would take Jaden going forward based on what I think his potential could be.
Yeah, kid's a stud. It makes me sick. He's a stud, and I like him too. He's not even like, oh my god, I hate him. I want him to lose.
He seems like a down.
I like him. Yeah, he's not overly emotional. He's humble. Like he's not out there hot dogging and all this other stuff. Everything about him I love. I hate.
He's back 1 week after taking a huge shot to the ribs.
Yeah.
Like I love that kind of just play the game where you got Anthony Richardson being like, oh, I'm tired. This guy probably has a broken ribs and is out there next week.
He's so good. Yeah. What was the other one who did I vote for? So first political question of the night. Yeah, I'm not gonna answer that. You'd have to assume that I voted.
Or I did not. I'm gonna make it easy for everyone. I did not vote.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Honestly, Delco Steve, I don't blame you.
I've never voted for president once. I vote for local stuff and that's it.
Yeah, I tend to agree that I care more about the local politicians and voting for them than I care with.
I don't make enough money where the big dogs affect me.
All right. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Yeah, I voted for the Libertarian Party candidate. If you want an answer.
Did you vote for D's Nuts, the guy that got 9% of the votes in North Carolina like 4 years
2016? Should we bring it up? It's one of the best things ever. I was playing it earlier today. And the best part is the newscaster says it so seriously when he's reporting it. I got to find it now. I think it was a guy it was a newscast. It was Channel 7 up in New York. Let me see.
How did they get 9% of the vote to do that? That's what I want to know.
Sometimes this country is good. You know what I mean? Other times it's not, like most of the time, but in small pockets and moments.
You see the light.
I'm going to have to Google it because it's not, when I type in D's Nuts in Twitter search, it doesn't come up with what I'm looking for.
I could only imagine what
comes up with something I'm not looking for. D's Nuts news story election. Let's see. D's Nuts failed independent candidate for president. Oh, I gotta find the news story. It's only funny when it is the Channel 7 news that had it, but why do they not have the story up there? Yeah, D's Nuts got 9% of the vote. I mean, where was it? It was somewhere. All right, I think I have something here. Oh, here we go.
This running for president, Bush, Trump.
Hold on. This guy might have fun with it. All right, let's see. Let me see if I can share it here. Share. These nuts rising in presidential polls. There we go.
He's running for president, Bush, Trump, Clinton.
Okay, you've heard of those names, but a lesser-known independent's name is taking the internet by storm, and that name would be D's Nuts. Yep, you heard me right. He is gaining traction in North Carolina with 9% of voters saying they'd vote for him. Wow. In a hypothetical race between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, he would get 9%. Well, this candidate, that's not his real name. He's actually a 15-year-old from Iowa, but he has filed with the Federal Election Commission.
So in other words, Hillary Clinton could have beaten Donald Trump in North Carolina if this 15-year-old punk didn't get on the ballot as D's Nuts. Like I said,
I mean,
sometimes life's good.
Yeah, but like, who's the 9% of the people that were like, yes?
Oh, so those that died for this country really appreciate your contribution, Delco Steve.
Like, I don't know. Like, what do you want me to do?
So, Michael Richmond, here's what I'll say about that. Is that Delco Steve pays his taxes and gets up every morning and goes to work, just like a lot of us do. And he's entitled to voice his opinion by not voting. And I share a lot of that. And I don't think that it is our civic duty to vote if we don't believe in what we're voting for or who we're voting for. And when you look at these two crooks that are running for president, this loser that's going to be now president again, and this the vice president that has no business being the president, and these are our only two choices. 4 years ago, it was two geriatrics that were running for president. At least Trump has his facilities in his mind. But I mean, for now, doesn't mean he's going to, like, he's relatively sharp for his age, right? So, like, if you decide to not vote, then I support your decision not to vote. I mean, some people cannot vote, and that's how they can use their voice. Because guess what? Like, you cast a vote for whoever you voted for. Did it matter? No, it didn't. It didn't matter. Right. Your vote doesn't really mean anything. You need all the votes to mean something.
Right. I mean, it's okay. So I throw one more vote, like hypothetically speaking, I throw one more vote on Kamala. The Electoral College still goes to Trump in Pennsylvania. Like, that's my thought process on
it. Now the argument is, if there's a million,
if there's 1,000 of me,
share you, but, like, you know what? Maybe you're not. Maybe you don't want to vote for one of the candidates. Like, It's really about when people say you should vote, what they're saying is you should vote for the candidate they want you to vote for. They're not telling you to go out and vote for Trump when they want Harris to win.
I think I did that to everyone that said something to me about voting for. I just said I was voting for the person they were against.
Right.
I think I did that every time. Right. Oh, I did that every time. I did that to my own grandmother.
Oh no, my mom was like, she didn't say it to me, but she said it to my daughter. She said, I did, because she was they FaceTime, and my mom was leaving the polls, and she's like, did your mommy and daddy go out and vote? You know, and they're like, I don't know.
I don't know.
It was like 5 of 10. And I'm like, yeah, Mom, I voted twice already. Get out of here. I mean, do the mail-in ballot. Why would you go wait in line for 2 days to vote?
I agree.
Bomb threats and stuff in Westchester. People were showing up to vote, and they couldn't vote because they're a bomb threat. Like, F that. Or whatever.
Yeah, no,
it's actually a good point, Don. Jerry Jones probably is getting set for 4 years to run for president. He'll be 87 years old. He'll be the perfect candidate for this country. Him and the Don. It's awesome.
Wouldn't they be on the same side?
No, both have big egos. Yeah, they're both probably Republicans, but that doesn't matter. They can fight it out on the.
They can fight it out. Yeah, there we go.
That would be awesome. No, seriously, like, who's the next president? Joe Rogan? And if you think I'm kidding, I'm not. If Donald Trump can be president, any of these wackadoos can be president. Joe Rogan thinks that he got Donald Trump in the White House for doing that interview.
Yep.
Donald Trump was winning that race regardless. Harris had no shot. She really had no shot. I was surprised that as many people thought it was going to be close. I wasn't surprised at all. Not in the slightest bit. You watch football, Delco Steve. You watch college football. You watch pro football. It was as one-sided on those commercials as I've ever seen anything. And they were effective. The Breakfast Club, where Charlemagne the God, it was the transgendered are going to get sex changes in prison paid for by taxpayers. And they're like, what? The old ladies at the old Jewish ladies at the delicatessen saying, I've never voted Republican. I'm voting Republican. Like, every ad that was out there, it was like, well, that's what he's running on. That's what he's running on. That's what he's running on. What was Harris running on? Abortion and anti-Trump? Guess what? They don't care. That's a good point.
That's my number one rule. No seatbelts.
No seatbelts. You are a very thoughtful person. By the way, Michael Richmond, who is a good friend of mine and a big supporter of everything I do, including the show here, he wants to fight OG Wade. What is going on here? Why is he fighting OG Wade? Can the Mad Shatters fill us in on what's going on? He called him a fraud to his face. OG Wade, who was on here earlier, said 2:00 Monday. He called him out after school Monday, 2 p.m., and he'll call him a fraud to his face. I guess that's Chickies and Pete's on Monday for the afternoon show. There you go.
Tune in.
There you go. All right, Joe Rogan, next president. Rogan, who would he run? What weirdo Republican politician would be on his ticket?
I don't. That is so nowhere near my scope of knowledge.
I'm just trying to. Well, I mean, it's kind of a fake question.
I don't even think I can name 5 other Republican politicians.
Yeah, me neither. No, the wacko from Georgia. the Marjorie.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God.
Green wacko, the conspiracy. So anyway, there you go. That's our political talk for tonight.
Herschel Walker could be
Herschel Walker. Absolutely, he would make a fine candidate. There you go. He's a Republican. There you go.
I got one.
Yeah. What else do we have here? Anything else, Delco Steve, you wanted to talk about? Nothing. What'd you do this weekend? Anything good?
I went to a brewery Saturday, and I had the house to myself Sunday to watch the Eagles and Red Zone and everything else by myself. So that was nice. That was Erica was down tailgating the game as per usual on Sundays.
Oh, so she I know she had tickets, but she what time is she down there for a 1:00 game?
I think they left
9?
at like 11.
Oh, really? So she's not down there at 7:00.
No. Like on 1:00 games, they leave at like 8. So they're not down there. They go to FDR. They have a setup down there.
Oh yeah, that's the way to do it. There you go. You engaged yet?
Nope.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Since last week, no, not engaged.
We got to check you every week.
Yep.
So he's not going to fight him. He wants to call him a fraud to his face. Nah, Michael Richmond, you don't need to call OG Wade a fraud to his face because
what are we calling him a fraud for? What did I
he thinks he's a fraud. I'm not real. I wasn't following it. Vince says OG Wade's a good man, and I agree. OG Wade is a good man. I like OG Wade. You shouldn't confront him to his face. That'd be like Jason Kelce. You gonna spike his phone too?
Neither. No way. I'm drinking PBR or Jameson. Those are both no's.
No, you're not a hipster.
I'll do a shot of Jameson once in a while if someone pays for it, but I'm
sure.
I'm not asking for it.
Oh, but so what kind of beer you're drinking? Drinking like a Budweiser? You look like a Budweiser guy.
No, like if I'm drinking beer, Miller Lite over Bud Light by a million, and that's not anything. Not anything political. Bud Light just tastes like ass.
Tastes like a chain link fence.
Yes, it does. It's metallic.
It's weird.
I always think it's like if you cut your finger and you like it
does. It tastes like
it's that taste. It's like, oh, did I cut my finger when I opened this?
Bud Light's terrible. Miller Lite, I'm not telling you it has a lot of flavor.
No, it's neutral.
It's light beer, man. Yeah, I drink Miller. I'll drink Coors Light before Bud Light. I hate Bud Light.
Oh, 100% agree with that.
However,
I like Rolling Rock or like Corona.
That's a summer beer.
Rolling Rock isn't.
It's kind of a summer beer. I wouldn't drink.
All right, well,
in the winter.
I'm drinking Surfsides in November, dude.
Yeah, me too. How about this? Regular Budweiser is good though, and
I'm not a Bud heavy fan.
I get banged up. You give me 3, 4 Budweisers, I have a hangover the next day. I'm not telling you it's good.
Did you ever have a Bud Light Platinum?
No.
Oh, they were awesome back in college. They were like 6.9%.
Really? Nice. I don't remember them at all.
Yeah, I think they came out right after we all turned 21 in college. And
really?
That made senior year pretty fun.
But that's awesome.
The only reason we drank it was because they were twice the amount of alcohol.
So do you have 2 degrees you have a degree from the Connecticut School of Broadcasting and Westchester University?
Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations.
I don't think I would count them as 2 degrees. It's like 1.25.
Well, listen, Connecticut School of Broadcasting is still in business. I know that. Forget who's teaching there, but yeah, they're still there. All right. Rolling Rock.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, we were under the Turnpike Bridge. We weren't in a creek, but we went under the Turnpike Bridge.
Totally mediocre girl. Not the shots fired at the girl. It's not her fault.
C+. No, he's right. 100%. C+, but like there's 5 guys that all are ready to jump her bones. Right? Somebody's getting lucky or nobody's getting lucky, but everybody's ready. Yeah. Drinking
you got to get ready to stay ready to be ready or something.
Exactly right, man. The good old days. I haven't probably had a Rolling Rock in 20 years.
Oh, dude. Rolling Rock's delicious.
I want nothing to do with beer for the most part. Miller Lights for sure. Yeah. 100%. I'm good with Miller Lights. That's my beer of choice if I'm having a beer. Like I can have trying to think of another beer I would drink. If I was
Mick Ultra. Mick Ultra is probably one I get a lot more frequently than if I probably buy 5 cases of beer in a year, and 3 of them are probably Mick Ultra.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I would drink that if they're there. I mean, as long as it's not an IPA, if it's like all there is beer, like the garage beer I've had, and like it's fine. Modelo
I
is one
can't
of my.
I can't stand an IPA.
Yeah, no, I'm out pretty much on any of that stuff. Give me liquor, give me the seltzers, or give me some kind of something. I
don't need to drink a 12% like Golden Monkey to have
man.
3 of them and be trash. I could just drink 3 shots and be just as
no, and they taste terrible. You probably noticed this in the grocery stores now. They signed it into law. It happened pretty quick. You can buy the high noons in the Wegmans and the
Oh
takeout
no,
places.
I haven't noticed that.
Yeah, it's silly because for a while you couldn't buy. They could only buy the malt beverage. You can't buy the regular spirits. And Shapiro's like, no, that's ridiculous. So you know what that did? Because my buddy works at Wegmans. He's the manager of the alcohol department, and they sell so much alcohol in that Wegmans.
Yep.
But the seltzers, the Trulies, and the White Claws, since High Noons came in there, nobody buys them anymore. Because they have High Noons. Well, what would you buy? High Noons or White Claws?
I would go White Claw.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not. There's a few of the High Noons that I like flavor wise, but like overall, like it's not how I like my it's too much seltzer for my mixing of vodka purposes.
So you like it a little sweeter,
and stronger.
Well, no, they're the same.
No, I'm talking about saying if I'm making a vodka drink, like
so you add the White Claws.
No, not regularly, but I'm saying like White Claw, I like the flavors as is, so I don't like the High Noon flavors as is.
Gotcha.
That makes sense. So it's like if I'm gonna make a vodka mixed drink, like more seltzer based, like with the High Noons are, in my opinion, I would just get a Sprite and pour vodka in it and make it stronger.
Yeah, once upon a time when I discovered White Claws, I went on the air and I was saying how much I loved them, and people were so mad at me and saying like, "Oh, you're drinking Bartles and James, you P word, you pussy, drinking wine coolers," and I'm like, "Yeah, they're 5% alcohol and they taste good and they're light." And I drank 3 of them and I felt great. And then,
when they first came out, everybody was saying that. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh, you're drinking one.
Yeah. Espresso martinis. Oh. The one in the cans are good, but they're not like getting the real thing. Did I tell you I went to that espresso martini bar with my wife?
Is that when you were sick?
Yes.
Yes.
I had strep throat and we still went out downtown. Yeah.
You can't even tell me if it was good or not because you probably couldn't taste anything.
Bro, I was so sick. No, they were good. Oh, they were good and strong. Yeah. Because there was one I got, and I didn't realize that it was. No, she didn't realize that it was made with whiskey and not vodka. So whatever martini they made, I forget what it was. It was like chocolate peanut butter or something like that, but it was made with whiskey.
It's made with the. Oh my God.
Yeah, whatever the name is, like
screwball.
Screwball. Yes. Yes. And it was strong. And I can deal with it. She can't, like she can drink the espresso martinis or Cosmos or any of those. She can't deal with the brown liquor. So I'm trying to drink it, and I already had one, and I have 102 fever, and I have strep throat, and I don't know it. And so I'm like, I can't drink this one. Like I already feel like I'm gonna get sick. I can't drink this one. But like I forced it down because it's like whatever, $15-$16. But the place is great. It's called the Elephant, I think. It was on Locust.
I'm gonna have to get down there, dude.
It's so good. The place is really cool too. It's like it's hard to describe. Yeah, it was really cool. I recommend it to anybody. But I'm a big espresso martini guy.
I'll make Erica take me for my birthday.
When's your birthday?
Saturday.
You buried the lead.
We did this last weekend. Oh,
that's right. Yeah, that's right. You're previewing the birthday. Yep. Yeah. All right. So what are you doing for the birthday?
Saturday, I think just doing dinner with my parents and Erica, and then Sunday, I think we're gonna go out for the Cowboys game.
For the Cowboys game, yeah.
Yeah. I figure I'm like, no one's gonna argue with going and doing that. So that was the thought.
No, definitely not. No, that sounds like a good time. All right, man. Happy birthday. You're 33. Oh my God.
Getting old.
You sure are.
I pulled my back on Monday, so that was great.
You hurt your back?
I tweaked at the gym like a
I was going to say lifting or working?
Lifting, like a dumbass.
What were you doing?
So I was doing these like row things, like where you lay on the bench and you pull towards you, okay? So you have to set it up on plates to get the height you need. And I was doing like a supersetting with dumbbell bench press. I was like, oh, I'll just do it on the same bench and I'll like on this apparatus that I have balance. And as soon as I laid back, it like tilted and I'm like, oh, I got to catch the weight. And my back just started screaming.
So do you not work out for a couple? Are you wise and you don't work out for a couple days?
Oh, no, I finished the workout and was back yesterday.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. So your back still hurts?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a little tweak.
Little tweak.
Vince,
I'm with you. When I turned 40, I actually drove around looking for a 40 ounce and I couldn't find one. There was a place down the street from me called a pizza stop. Well, I would have went Mickey's Ice, but I would have gotten anything. There's a place down the street from me called the Pizza Stop that had a takeout license, and they had 40s because I was in there before. I'm like, 40. So I go in there, and they're like, yeah, we don't have our license anymore. We don't sell beer anymore. I'm like, oh, well, all right. So I go to Wegmans.
How long's that been?
Yeah. So I go to Wegmans. It wasn't that long. I go to Wegmans, and they're like, huh? Like the girl didn't even know what a 40 ounce was. And I'm like,
I feel like they've gone so far out the pasture.
They have. So I would have had to drive to Norristown, downtown Norristown to get a 40. Honest to God. And I said no. And I just turned around and I dealt with it.
You could just come down to Delco. There's plenty of places that still sell 40s.
Plenty of places that sell 40s where I grew up. I know where they are too. I used to sell
them. Get them. You were a provider.
Yes. Yeah. We're Steak and Hoagie Factory. So Steak and Hoagie Factory was on Old York Road in Abington. And there was a pocket of Abington called Crestmont that was exclusively African-Americans. So in Abington, you had Roslyn, Abington Township. Roslyn is if you're Catholic, if you're Italian, you go to Bishop McDevitt, or if you go to Abington, you're a Catholic kid. So that's Roslyn. Glenside's kind of a mix of everything. Crestmont is predominantly where a lot of the black people lived. And it was like literally a block and a half from Steak and Hoagie Factory where I worked. So I would get people, we were open till 2:00 in the morning. I worked till 2:00 in the morning. I get people all night long buying 40s, just walking up. $2.50 for a 40, 5 for 2. You can only bring out 4 40s at a time because you can only take out 190 ounces takeout.
And they just put them in the car and they come back in.
You come back in. Yep, exactly right. So you can't take 2 12-packs. You can only take a 12-pack because it's 144 ounces. And a 12 and a 6 is too much to take out. So you can't take that out. But you can only take 4 40s at a time. So believe me, I know all about the 40 ounce. My 40 ounce that I liked, and I used to drink them at work. At midnight, I'd be like, all right, I can start drinking. It was Mickey's Ice.
Yeah, no. Can't do an ice.
Oh, man. Bud Ice, too. Because it was we're talking about mid-90s, so the Bud Ices were unbelievable.
Yeah, everyone was drinking Natty Ices when I was that age. And
then Steel Reserve came out. And that's when all the wide mouth 40s came out. Because I didn't like the wide mouth 40, but the Mickey's Ice you could only get in a wide mouth. The regular Mickey's you could get in a regular 40. But Colt 45, Old English, and then we had the 22s. We had the St. Ides brews where it was like the chicks would come in and buy it. It was the St. Ides. It was like flavored malt liquor. It was kind of like a seltzer. It was a fruity drink where the chicks would always come in and get that stuff.
Like a rosé?
No, it wasn't wine. It was like it was a malt beverage flavored, almost like a seltzer.
Okay.
But definitely doesn't taste as good as
isn't White Claw just
So it's malt liquor. That's why they can sell it.
It's
a malt beverage. Yeah.
So isn't that that's the difference in the High Noon though, right? Because the High Noon is actual vodka. That's why I think that's why I don't like that's why the two don't jive for me. Like I don't think of them as the same.
I don't either. I like the High Noon. I like vodka. I don't like the malt beverage. I don't like It's the other. I mean, they're all right. I can still drink them if I go to a tailgate or a barbecue or something. And
if someone hands you one, you're not going to.
I'm drinking. I can drink it.
Yeah,
I'm not snooty or anything like that with my seltzers.
No, I'm too good for that.
For sure. All right. Well, listen. Have a happy birthday. That's excellent news. Yeah. Be safe out there.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too crazy.
No. All right. Well, make sure that I need social media updates of your birthday extravaganza. And I'm still trying to work to get the show to where we can have a PHLY sponsored. So you have their reach is like 26 million or something like that. So
yeah, that'll be an improvement.
Yeah. Yeah. The $25 high noon at Wells Fargo Center at the World Series in Houston. I bought the warmest $25 mango White Claw of my life. And it was a big one. It was like a 24 ounce.
Yeah. The 25 ounce.
They'd obviously just run out of them, and they took warm and put them right in the refrigerator, and they handed it right to me. I opened it up and tasted it, and the first sip was the worst sip I've ever had of anything in my life.
They could at least hand you a giant cup of ice with it.
You know what? I should ask for a cup of ice because I would have drank it like that.
That's the one thing about those drinks. You can actually pour them on ice, and it doesn't. It's like
they taste good.
I'm not pouring a warm beer over ice and drinking it. Like,
you're right. They do taste good. That's 100% what I should have done. I was hammered, and I felt like total shit, and I probably shouldn't have been drinking anymore. So it's a good thing. All right, Delco Steve, happy birthday, man.
Appreciate it, dude. Flyers win tomorrow. That's all I'm asking. Or actually, I know on Saturday. That's all I care about.
Let's get 2 wins in a row. All right, everybody. See you. Tune in to PHLY tomorrow at 8 a.m. Angelo Cataldi joins me. He's going to kill the 76ers. See ya.
It's like you never left.